Hi everybody, it's Joe Krug from Finsweet with a new effing sweet Webflow hack. In this hack, we learn how to open the last tab that the user had open when they revisit the page. If I'm on a site, I'm going through tab 2, tab 3, back to tab 2, and then I go to a new page on the site. When I return to the page with the tabs, it's going to have the last tab open that I opened. Let's jump in and see how it works. Watch this work as I switch tabs and then load the page again. It's going to remember the last tab that I was on. I have tab 1 selected, tab 2, 3, and I'm cycling back and forth. Whatever I end on, it's going to remember that, and when I reload the page, it's going to show that tab open. And it's going to work even if we go to a totally different page and then back to this page. So watch, I'm on tab 3. Let's go and change this to a different hack, totally different content. And now let's go back to our tab example and you'll see that 3 is selected. And this works totally reliably. Tab 1, I go and reload tab 1, tab 2, reload to tab 2. This is a great way to keep people engaged with the content that they were just looking at. Let's go into Designer and see how this is set up. We're in Designer and we're using a native Webflow tab component. This is the tab component right from the components list. We're using it native inside Webflow. We are applying a class to the buttons of the tab component. And that's it. We're just applying this one class, and each of these buttons has that same class: tab button, tab button, tab button. That would be this element right here inside of the component. And as long as we have that class, we're going to be able to see what was the last tab selected. Let's go through this code line by line. Before the closing body tag, we're going to insert our script. This one is fairly simple, it's easy to understand, and it's important to understand how this works. When the DOM is ready, we are going to run an if statement. And that if statement is checking if there has been a tab selected in the past. It's saying, was any tab inside of our component clicked? If local storage get item tab, if there is a local storage item called tab, then we're going to run this line. And this line is going to target the tab button, get the local storage item tab, and click it. So it's saying, is there a tab that has been stored in the past? Have we had a click on a tab? If we do, go ahead and click that tab. So when we load the page, the correct tab is already clicked and it is visible for the user to see. And here we have on tab click. On tab click is going to actually store that tab as a local storage item. So on tab click, we are targeting the tab button, and on click, we are going to get its index. We are going to store that index in a variable called index. So this is saying, targeting the tab button, we're going to get the index of this. This is referring to the tab button, and we're going to store that as a variable called index. Index is saying, is it the first tab? Is it the second tab? Is it the third tab? Is it the fourth, fifth, sixth, or seventh? Whatever number it is, it's going to store it in this variable called index. Now we are going to store our index in local storage. So we are setting an item called tab, and we are giving it the index of the tab it is. So if they click tab number 3, it's going to make sure that tab number 3 is clicked. And this onClick function works directly with this. When we run this if statement, if there is a tab that has been clicked, it is because of this code that is storing that information right here. This is important to understand. If you can get a good hold of local storage and understand how we can store information inside the user's browser, we can do a lot more with this type of stuff. Expect more hacks on this type of implementation, this type of thought process. Thank you so much for checking out this hack. Please clone the project. We have the entire hacks project available for clone. Start learning how these hacks work and use them on your live site. We're always releasing new hacks, so if you want to be updated, subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you want a super simple plain text email when we release a new hack, sign up at finsweet.com/hacks-updates. If you want to request a hack, we'll check it out and see if it's possible in Webflow. Go to finsweet.com/hacks-request. That's effing sweet.